A hearty Housing Authority and Housing Development Corporation greeting, and thank you all for coming out to our groundbreaking for our Phase 3 of the Dr. Walter G. Alexander Village. This is just incredible to us. It's huge for us because we were able to get a third tax credit with Sandy monies to make this happen. And some of you I know in the crowd live around here or have worked around here, and you've seen the condition of the area, and you know like in the past we had a lot of problems here. And actually, when we tore down these 7 properties that were in bad condition, it stopped a lot of the problems immediately. But when we build the new housing, we anticipate certainly an extension of what we started with the initial 114 units. So I'm not going to go on too much further than that, because I know I have not introduced this illustrious panel that we have of folks who are going to speak on the dais here. And the first person that I actually really want to bring up, Willis Edwards, who is the Deputy City Administrator, who's going to speak on behalf of the Mayor of the City of Orange.
Good morning, everyone. Today is a great day for the City of Orange. I bring you greetings on behalf of Mayor Dwayne Warren, who couldn't be with us this morning. He's in Trenton, and it is our hope that he can make it back in a timely fashion, but duty does call. On behalf of the Mayor's remarks, I wanted to make sure that I stress, first and foremost, that the Orange Housing Authority could not have a better partner than the City of Orange and the Mayor's administration to making sure that quality housing is delivered to all the residents of the City of Orange and those that are looking for services. With that, I thank all of you for coming out, and our distinguished panel as well. God bless you.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that I acknowledge some of the folks that are here. I mean, some of the folks are going to be speaking, and we're going to bring up. Definitely Senator Gill, thank you. She's worked so hard with us on issues in regards to housing. But we also have, right now, Brittnee Timberlake, Freeholder, Essex County. Wonderful person. Got a chance to meet her before she was a freeholder, and she does a lot to help the affordable housing efforts in Essex County. Certainly we have Sonia Burgos here, our Director of Public Housing for HUD, and it's been a long time since I've seen her. Just yesterday, actually, I saw her. We were doing a closing for this very building. We were closing on the HUD evidentiaries. And to my left, I have Ms. Best, the Deputy Director of Planning for the city. And of course, our partner, Mr. Joe Alpert, who, of course, I've got a lot to say about him. Certainly, we talk a lot about public-private partnerships, and we couldn't have asked for a better partner than Joe. Joe was the right size, and I'm not talking about the stature, I'm talking about his business. He was the right size, and he had enough flexibility to work with our housing authority. And of course, housing authorities, and this is my spiel, and I say it all the time. We work a lot with developers, we work with cities, but housing authorities, in our charter, we're supposed to be working with the cities and everyone to really help with the development of our community's housing. We're supposed to forward the issue of public and affordable housing. We get monies to do that from HUD and other sources. But more so than that, our role is to be an advocate in the city to ensure that the housing needs of our community is taken care of. And certainly in Orange, we're really, really proud that we've got so many good partners that allow us to work hand in hand with them so that we can do a 114-unit tax credit development, which we did in 2012. We're so glad that we have partners that give us the flexibility. You know, I'm not just talking about Joe, I'm talking about the city, I'm talking about the county, and I'm talking about the state government also, because they, we would be remiss if we did not talk about their contribution to making this happen. So, let me go on. I can talk for days. I want to, everybody knows. I want to acknowledge Libby Jones, Freeholder at Large, is here. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Freeholder. Thank you for your support. Rolando Bodilla, is he here? He's not here yet. He said that he was going to come. And of course, Anthony Marchetta from the New Jersey Housing Mortgage Financing. He's the Executive Director, and David Reiner, our Deputy Commissioner of the DCA. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. And I believe Superintendent Lee was going to be here. If he's not here, he's going to be here. I know this is a busy day. I do want to acknowledge the Director of Finance for the city, Mr. Adrian Mapp, who is also the Mayor of Plainfield. I do want to acknowledge my councilman, Mr. Kerry Coley, and Miss Betty McLeod is the only commissioner that I have here today. You know, they're coming. And David Rossi is a former commissioner, and we do want to acknowledge him because he was part of the planning of this whole process. I do want to acknowledge the Metro Group, who work with us in our finance, on doing the financing for this project. Thank you, Stu. And I'd like to acknowledge McManaman in Scotland, our council. Long time no see, Amelia. And Kitchen and Associates, our architect who put this together for us. Thank you. Is someone from Enterprise here? Absolutely. Leanna's here from Enterprise. Thank you so much. She's our syndication underwriter. And boy, she knows how to keep people in line. She does. Thank you. And Heather from Metro, I do want to recognize you because I see more of you now than I do of Stu. He's moved on, I know. Yeah. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our staff. If you're on the staff of the Orange Housing Authority, the Development Corporation, just wave your hand. Without our staff, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So, I'm going to get on with the show here. I'd like to bring up Senator Gill.
Good morning. Thank you very much. This will be brief because this is a long-standing commitment to affordable housing, to partnerships, to being able to pull together for the good of the community, and for the community to be able to stand and move forward for our future. So when you talk about affordable housing and partnerships private and with the state, what we are doing here is more than housing. We are creating here an atmosphere where we can be safe, where we can raise our children, where we can further develop our commitment to this wonderful city, this wonderful county, and this wonderful state. And so affordable housing means houses, but it also means moving people forward. And for that, we are grateful for for this wonderful partnership in this wonderful city. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And Senator Gill, she has definitely been an advocate of Orange, the Orange Housing Authority. In fact, we met with her recently about some bills that affect affordable housing in our community at large. So, next I'd like to bring up Essex County Freeholder President Brittnee Timberlake.
Thank you so much for having me. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. You know, my colleague looked at me and said, please keep it short, because she knows that I absolutely love the work that the Housing Authority is doing here in Orange, and that I am an advocate myself for affordable housing. As outside of here, I'm an executive director over Affordable Housing Organization, which is how I met Mr. Walter McNeil, as he gave me a tour 3 years ago of all of this property and told me what it could be. And here we are standing today, actually seeing what's behind us having been a dream realized, and what will be the groundbreaking today of 42 more units. Did you all know that despite working, 40% of New Jersey households have a hard time, taking care of basic needs such as housing? That's something that's very serious. We need affordable housing, workforce housing, however you want to, whatever you want to call it, we need it. We need it for the working poor, our teachers, our firefighters. We need them for our community, for our seniors. It's important to have affordable housing. If we have a basic right of the right to live, is there an asterisk next to that that says only if you can afford it? There should be no asterisk. To me, housing and high quality housing should be it should be right up there with the right. So I'm so proud of the Orange Housing Authority and Walter McNeil for the vision, and everybody else who has contributed to it to make it a reality. Thank you so much.
So much, Freeholder. I'd like to acknowledge our chairperson who just came in. Would you like to say a couple words? Mr. Coram Grimes.
Thank you, Director. Apologize for being a little tardy. Just want to say hello to everyone and welcome. Thanks for coming out. We're at a miraculous day today. We're continuing transition, a positive transition for the city of Orange. We're building some housing units there that's going to be very helpful to all the residents. And I certainly want to give a lot of acknowledgement to the Alpert Group, our partner, the Housing Authority, as well as the Orange Development Corporation. And to all the citizens who are in Orange and who will benefit for this, I really appreciate them. And I'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, now I'd like to bring up a very, not only a strong advocate, but a very not only interesting director of our field office, but a visionary. Someone who has a vision, gives us the flexibility that we need to carry out the vision that we have, and with a very watchful eye, monitoring the things that we do, while also encouraging us to share what we do with other housing agencies. And recently, we at the Orange Housing Authority hosted a group of housing authorities right here in our new facility over at Walter G to talk about some pertinent issues related to Section 8 and how we can administer the Section 8 program better. And I'll tell you, the only way we get better as a community is when we communicate with each other. And Sonia Burgos has definitely been encouraging that, and I really appreciate that. We've been looking for leadership like yours, and here she is. Thank you.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Dr. McNeil, for those kind words. I will tell you that from HUD's perspective, we definitely think this is fabulous. I mean, when I go around the state and I see what housing authorities are doing with their properties and the beautiful homes that they're building, because as the senator said, you can't think about education, you can't think about your families without a roof over your heads. And this environment that is being created, not only in Orange, but all over the country, and we encourage it. We try not to build obstacles because we know that the federal government can't do that. So the goal is to minimize those obstacles and encourage housing authorities and provide them with the technical support that we're here to do that. And the most important audience that I see here are the tenants. Because once you have a home and once you have that stability, the rest is endless. You can do anything else you want and help your family and help your neighborhood. And certainly we encourage that and we support that, and we're here to stay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Okay. Our next guest who's going to speak, and really he's not a guest. He's been here before, and certainly he knows the work that we try to do, and we would not be able to do that work without his support, encouragement, and his leadership. This is Mr. Anthony Marchetta from the New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, all. And first, let me say to all present, congratulations. Job well done. This is a project that has been indicated is the effort of a lot of people, from the residents to the officials at the Housing and Housing Development Group, the local officials, the county officials, the state and federal officials. And that's before you get into the consultants, and we have an array of them before us, attorneys, specialists, architects, construction company. This is truly a team effort, and to put all the pieces together sometimes isn't that easy. You know, I have the easy part. We write checks. That's easy. And the agency has been quite successful at doing that over the last several years. And in fact, the storm that impacted the state of New Jersey, Superstorm Sandy, was both a disaster and a blessing. It was a disaster because a lot of people lost a lot of personal belongings, and they lost their homes and are being resettled. But in a sense, we were also able to utilize the resources that were then provided through the federal government to generate lots of new housing. In spite of what you might hear and see in the paper or the press, the state has done a pretty remarkable job in generating new housing opportunities. In fact, we received from the federal government in the first two tranches, and we still have a third tranche coming for our affordable rental housing, about $325 million. And at the agency, we were able to leverage that just on the first two tranches to over $1.2 billion of new, directed towards new rental housing. $1.2 billion. Right now, in the state of New Jersey, there are about 30 construction projects ongoing that are going to generate 2,000 new units of affordable housing this year. And it's only 2.5 years since the storm. It takes time to build new housing. Well, guess what? This year we're hoping to generate 2,000 plus COs of brand new affordable housing throughout the state of New Jersey, in part funded by Sandy. This project, phase 3, is about a $12 million project. But even a $12 million project has a lot of impact. This project, these 3 phases of this project, have been transformative to this neighborhood. It was crime infested before, and now look at it. We've got new housing surrounding here, safe neighborhoods. It's a wonderful transition. It's a great story for the city of Orange. And this is not the only one. You know, I was here last week checking out the project down at the train station, the RPM project. I'm going to be here on Thursday for the opening of the groundbreaking of the Berg Hat Factory project, Hat City Lofts. There's a lot of positive activity going on in the city of Orange, and that's because everybody's putting their shoulder to the grindstone to make it happen. Again, let me congratulate you all, and I look forward to being a partner with you in the future at new projects. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for those comments. And I got to tell you that we are really fortunate in regard to our relationship with New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency, as well as the DCA. A lot of folks may not know this, but not only were we awarded the tax credit and Sandy funds for this project, but the Housing Authority and the Housing Development Corporation were awarded close to $1.3 million from the DCA for the Oakwood Avenue project that we're just about completing. We only have to put the solar panels up, and we're going to be out there again for a grand opening. And that's 7 units. It's right down the street. I mean, the folks who are local know that this property was property that the Housing Authority and the Housing Development Corporation took a lot of time to acquire individual units that had been burned out. It had been burned out for close to 2 years. Nobody was doing anything with them. And the unique thing about housing authorities that a lot of folks don't understand or don't know is the fact that we have a right to do eminent domain with certain properties. And we respect the rights of people and their property, but if it's going to have a devastating impact on our community overall, the greater number of the folks, we believe that we have a right and a responsibility to move forward. Literally, there were homes that were burned out, and folks did not want to sell them, and we needed to do something. And through condemnation, we were able to do some of that, as well as negotiating with some of the homeowners. It was 7 units. They were all burnt out. We bought them all. We ended up buying them all, and through NSB 3, which was a grant from the county, as well as the $1.3 million from the DCA, from Sandy money, we were able to create a development over there that everybody could be proud of. And for that, we're really happy. And we hope that the community is happy in regard to what we're doing. And with that, I wanted to introduce the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Community Affairs, Mr. David Reiner. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. It is a beautiful day. It's great to be here. It's always great to get out from behind the desk and come and see the real results of the hard work of everybody here and projects like this across the state. So thank you for hosting us today and having us here. As Anthony referred to, in many ways we're here to celebrate our ongoing recovery from Superstorm Sandy. And we were happy to be able to provide recovery funds to help this project and bring it, make it a reality. When Sandy hit, about 15,600 rental units suffered severe or major damage, and that's why out of the $4.1 billion that we received from the federal government for recovery funds, we put a significant portion of that, up to $600 million, into projects like this around the state. This project will provide affordable housing, it'll generate economic output, and it's going to help rebuild communities and our state and make it stronger than it even was before Sandy hit. Just a little bit about this particular project. It's projected that this project will result in $18.9 million in one-time economic output and approximately 113 direct jobs during construction. And more importantly, it'll result in $2.1 million in ongoing economic output. And this is going on across the state in the 9 most impacted, Sandy-impacted counties. And so that's why we're proud that programs like the Fund for the Restoration of Multifamily Housing, run by the HMFA, has been able to provide funding to bring projects like this to close and make them a reality. And just a little bit on the FRM program. We are projecting that the FRM program will result in $1.3 billion of economic output in 8,200 jobs during construction, and ultimately result in $153 million in ongoing economic output. So that shows that our recovery efforts are really resulting in a true benefit to the community, a true benefit to the state overall, and it's making us even stronger than we were before the storm. And so we're proud to be part of this ongoing effort, and just thank you and congratulate you and wish you the best of luck as this project continues. So thank you.
How you doing? Assemblywoman Alpert just joined us, and she was, before I have her speak, I'm going to bring up the president of the Alpert Group. His name is Mr. Joseph Alpert, and he's been our partner since 2011, thereabouts, maybe the end of 2010 to 2011. It's been a good longer, Joe. It's been a good longer. And we're again, as I said before, we're delighted to have him as our partner because he serves to help our vision for our community progress. And I want to mention, his staff here. I didn't think I'd like anybody that he would bring over. I didn't think anybody was good enough for us in Orange. And I didn't think they would understand. But he proved me wrong because he does have faith here at Walter G. And Faith, thank you for your efforts. I wanted to publicly thank you and congratulate you on all the good things that you've done. Before I brought up Joe, and before he could thank you. Joe, come on up. Thank you, Joe.
Well, the common thread here is all about partnerships, and as you can tell, Walt and the Housing Authority, we're on to our third one together. I'm very proud of that. My company struck up a lot of partnerships, for-profits and housing authorities recently. I think the only way a partnership really works is that you're all working towards the same goal, and for the most part, you don't step on each other's toes. As you can see today, my partner is really good at public speaking and carrying on events like this to promote what we do. It's probably a shortcoming of my company. So I just want to focus most of my comments on the people that I work with individually. Obviously, I take a lot of this home at night, my family. My parents are here in the audience. My father taught me the development business, and he's sitting right here. I'm glad Walt mentioned it. It carries even more weight. Faith's in the back, and as a service company, we're only as good as the people we put onto an assignment, really. And Faith knows just about every tenant by name, and you get a very personal relationship when you're doing affordable housing. You have sensitive information. You're qualifying people's income and family composition. So professionalism is very important. And I'd like to think we have really the greatest staff, along with working with the Housing Authority staff on the maintenance side, that's really been put together. And we're really looking forward to the opportunity to serving 42 more households with Phase 3. These are beautiful buildings, and there's a team that makes that happen. And we have our architectural team here, Steve Schock and Susan Nerge. They do a wonderful job. I mean, it seems like it all comes together seamlessly, but there's a lot of thought to mixing townhouses with a multifamily building, and now finishing up Phase 3, really finishing up 2 streets, Thoreau and Wilson Place. And there was a lot of thought that went into it, and they did a spectacular job. These buildings are going to stay up and have all their utilities and all that good stuff, and Lou is here from Mid-Atlantic, and they've really become, like I said, a full team here. Stayed together, Walter G 1, 2, and 3. A new member to our team, Angelo's here from Del Sano. They're going to be the general contractor here. We're working with them in another municipality already, and we're just looking forward to bringing them onto the team and bringing them into Orange. On the financing side and the development, we have a lot of integral players here. Walt mentioned it, took some of the steam out of this, but the Metro companies here, Heather Lawler, Stu Brittnee, I think they've been advising the Housing Authority for 4, 5, 6 years, and the City of Orange maybe longer, and really they have a vested interest. Enterprise, luckily, Leanna's here, and this is going to be our 8th project in a row with them, and really they've gone through all parts of New Jersey, urban area, affordable housing, and what I'm learning is they're more than just bringing money to the table. They give advice, they give direction, and Enterprise is truly, a partner in the development. We have Amelia here from McNeil, and one of the hardest things is vetting through all the governmental agencies and pilots and tax abatements. And to be honest with you, I don't know how many hats you must keep in the closet, because Amelia's helped us with just a wide range of really the intricacies of this project, and really we couldn't have done it without you and your firm. Just to move forward, and again, just in the light of partnerships, one of the things that we touch on, but we really haven't heard a couple of the groundbreakings. We've been lucky enough to do a few of these Sandy jobs. It's really the interaction between the HMFA and the DCA. They got charged with distributing billions of dollars of Sandy money. And I think one of the things that you don't hear that much is to get 2,000 units out on the street within 2 years, they had to figure out a vehicle. And I think this project's a perfect example. People mentioned, will people who've been displaced from Sandy move into these units? We hope so. But more importantly, we lost affordable housing units. And by combining the Sandy money with an established program like the 9% tax credits that we're also using here, the DCA, the HMFA got to leverage their dollars way further and develop projects that wouldn't have been done if the two agencies hadn't teamed together for a financing scheme like this. And I really take my hat off, because there's a lot of coordination and, again, another layer of programming that goes on. Lastly, we're sitting in Orange, and I will say that the mayor, I've never witnessed, and we've worked in about 15, 20 municipalities, the support that Mayor Warren brings to a project. When he wants something done, we're open to all divisions, and like I said, we're up to phase 3 here, and we look forward to doing more and more work, because I think Orange is going through, they have 2 rail systems, 2 train stations, and I think the sky's the limit, and we're just happy to be part of it. So thank you all.
Thank you, Jack. And now I'm mad at him again, because he didn't tell me that his parents were in the crowd. I would have at least said hello to them. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Alpert. Good seeing you, and thank you for coming out. What I'd like to do, I'd like to bring up LaQuana Best, the Deputy Director of the city, before I bring up the Assemblywoman. Deputy Director of the city's planning. She's speaking on behalf of Marty Mays, who is our planning director. And Marty's been incredibly responsible to us as Housing Authority, Housing Development Corporation. We call him, picks up the phone, comes out to the sites and takes a look at things. Obviously, the mayor has been, awesome with us, but to have staff that sort of understand what we're trying to do, and they try to advance what we're trying to do just as much as we are, it makes a big difference. And that's what you call community partnerships. So I do want to, before LaQuana comes up, if anybody was working for the city out there in the crowd, just raise your hand up. Anybody working for the city? Thank you. I'll acknowledge you. Thank you very much. And LaQuana, I'll have you come up.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Mayor of the City of Orange Township, the Honorable Dwayne D. Warren, and the Director of Planning and Development, Marty Mays, I would like to thank all of you, all of the people that are responsible for the start of yet another essential development project in the City of Orange. Those people include Dr. Walter McNeil and the Orange Housing Authority, Joe Alpert and the Alpert Group, the Council of the City of Orange for approving the project, the redevelopment attorneys. I would like to also especially thank the Planning Department,
my staff that are here. I know that Mr. McNeil just asked you to raise your hand. We definitely thank you, and we appreciate all of the work that you do for the city and for the building department. This is the third phase for Walter G. Alexander, and we are pleased, and most importantly, we are confident that this project will bring positivity to the city and its residents. The goal of the Warren administration has been to move Orange forward, and I think that we all can say that the city has been moving forward. Again, thank you and congratulations on the start of another successful project.
Thank you very much, Ms. Beth. And now, without further ado, I'm going to have our Assemblywoman, Ms. Sheila Oliver, come up. Now, obviously, everybody knows her. So, but do you know that she actively participates in most of the Housing Authority events we have for seniors? She was here for Black History Month. She was here for Women's History Month. I mean, she's always here, and she listens to us, to what we have to say, and I know that she utilizes us as a resource. And we thank God that she's here working with us every day. So come on up, Assemblywoman.
Thank you, Dr. McNeil. As I hobble around, I tell everyone my tale of woe. I am recuperating from orthopedic surgery, but I have not permitted it to slow me down. I threw my walker and my crutches and my cane to the side, and I am doing my best. But yeah, I am doing my best. But it's a pleasure for me to be here this morning, and I'd like to commend Dr. McNeil, the staff of the Orange Housing Authority, and the Alpert and Alpert Group. You are going to hit another home run for the citizens of Orange. Alpert, I want to see the Alpert parents. Can you just raise your hand? I want to see you. Well, I have to tell you that the name Alpert in Essex County early on became synonymous with working in partnership with local government, local nonprofit community development organizations, and civic groups to create what is beautiful, affordable housing for working class families. And I remember one of the earliest projects down at the foot of Lyons Avenue in Newark. That was an Alpert project, where there were beautiful apartment buildings that were luxury living in the late 50s, early 60s. And I remember the Alperts coming in and transforming those apartments and bringing them back to luxury. In the neighboring community of the 34th Legislative, we also have East Orange. The Alperts have done great work in East Orange as well. And I think of Dr. Alexander. There is a bronze plaque in the State House in memoriam for Dr. Alexander, because he was one of the earliest African Americans to ever serve in the State Assembly. I know that the issue and the ability to create affordable housing back in the days when he was there was very difficult. So I know that he looks down upon what has happened and the transformation that has happened here. And we have all of the collaborating partners who have made it a possibility. If there are two things that the residents of the 34th Legislative District prioritize, it is housing and employment. And once you are able to acquire a stabilized living environment that is, aesthetically pleasing to the eye, that provides you with safety and security, it really is a lift up for the entire family. One of my friends loves to say, rising tides lifts all boats. That is what affordable housing does for people. So I want to just congratulate everyone involved. I am very happy that the mayor is on this, doggone it. We've had a lot of meetings with representatives of New Jersey Transit. We know that Orange is a transit village community, and the Alperts, you are making it happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sonia. I want to thank all of our guests today, and I'm not going to make very long closing remarks. I do want to get prepared to do the actual ceremony where we're going to get a couple shovels and we'll get together and dig a little dirt, and I guess the traditional groundbreaking. But I do want to say thank you for everybody for making this happen, including our partner Joe Alpert. Thank you to the municipality, Mayor Warren, Willis Edwards, and all the staff at the city. Thank you to all of our partners for making it happen. It wouldn't be able to happen if it weren't for you. And workforce housing, affordable housing, you know things are being improved in our community by what I told the Freeholder a little bit earlier too. When we drove around 3 years ago, it was during a time where there was drug activity and all kinds of other stuff on the street. We couldn't come here and feel comfortable. Today with Walter G. Alexander 1 and 2, when we walk through those gates to go grab a little bite of lunch, you'll see that there's nobody hanging out in front of the places. There's no drug dealers there or people doing stuff that they're not supposed to. We have workforce housing where people are enjoying where they live. They're happy, and also it has an impact on the whole neighborhood. And that's what's so important to us, the whole neighborhood. I go and I work very closely with people in the neighborhood, so I know a lot of the neighbors of our properties, so I know that folks are much happier. And we're glad to be on the same block as the school system. And when I talked to the superintendent, he's much happier. When we started this, there was a drug house right next to the school. In fact, on either side of the school. Our passion is to change the bad element into something really good. I think we've accomplished that to some extent, and we so much realize that we've got a lot more to do. We're doing a lot of work within the East Ward. In fact, particularly down Central Place and Oakwood Avenue. When you drive down Oakwood Avenue, again, I'll tell you, you'll see our new development. We haven't actually named it yet, but it's the Oakwood Avenue development. That's what we call it. It used to be where the 7 burnouts used to be, and it looks very pretty there. And I want to thank Karen Nicholas, who was our architect, for designing that. And Fast Construction put that together. We're doing many scattered sites up and down Central Place, Wilson Place, and you'll see we're going to work hard. This was a multi-million-dollar investment. Over, I guess we've calculated now to over $45 million. That's no small potatoes for an agency like ours. We're a small housing authority, and do we toot our horns? Yeah, I think we can, because we did it in partnership with so many good professionals, and we appreciate that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop, and we're going to grab some shovels, and we're going to take some pictures, and then we're going to go back. We can walk right back through here, through our property to our community center, and we'll grab a bite to eat. All right? So let's grab some shovels, and we can do the official groundbreaking. good? No, don't worry. Get the shovels out there. Come on, let's get the shovels out. Can we get the shovels out there? All right. We do this?
All right, is everyone looking?
Looking. Can we grab the dirt?
Grab it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay! One more time, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Break ground, break ground.
All right. Super.